All right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Once again, we are here. We have a lot to unload this week. We had a great weekend of racing that just passed. Jorge Matt made it to the first night race for the North Florida Kart Club over 103rd, and then Sunday we went ahead and we went over to the first round of Orlando Cup, and it got spicy. It got spicy both days. It was hot. And before we jump right in, I just want to, thank everybody from 103rd. You guys are doing an absolutely phenomenal job. All the feedback that I got from over the weekend was absolutely fantastic. They had 105 entries for a local in Jacksonville. So that just shows you how much the club has grown. Just in the past hours, they released drone footage of the race. I mean, they have a photographer that's there. They are doing what you are supposed to be doing. So great job. Keep up the great work. And for other clubs, other tracks, we'll get to you. If you want to invite us out, we'll go out there, we'll race, we'll do a podcast, we'll bring you on, we'll do everything that we got to do to get the sport and get the eyes to everyone. So as always, please subscribe, share, follow us on all the social medias: Jam Racing, Winoka Racing, Matt Del Sol Racing. He's all over the place. Just type Matt Del Sol. You're gonna find him on YouTube. You're gonna find him on Instagram, and that's his email if you want to reach out for a sponsor. Kid's on an OTK. He is flying. He's showing up to races on his own, and he is just showing up, and he's becoming a force to be reckoned with in the heavy class. Not so much masters because he's kind of a baby, but in the heavy class, he's definitely putting his foot down and doing the things that he's doing. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with Saturday, which was 103rd, right? And I'm gonna fast forward to the winners before I forget, because if not, we'll get going, and I won't give the congratulations. So senior light, Hunter Halfrace. I might be butchering your name, so apologize. Great job.
That's all right. He's on TV. He's on TV.
He's on TV. Senior medium, Aiden White. So fantastic race.
Aiden White won senior medium?
Yep, he won.
Hell yeah, MGM. That's an MGM right there.
MGM, Miguel will be happy. And then for the money race in senior heavy, Jorge's daddy, Sean Mayer, absolutely killed it.
Stop saying his name wrong, man. It's
Meyer. Sean Meyer. I'm foreign. I'm sorry. Sean Meyer. Obviously always on Jorge's every time that he can. Chris Carroll and Tyler.
Yeah, because he had his teammate pushing him the whole way.
Doesn't matter. Gapped you. It was great to watch.
And on top of that, Chris let him borrow his best motor.
Okay.
What a nice guy.
Dude. And then I was surprised to see this. I haven't seen this name pop up on Race Monitor for a while. Dan.
Oh yeah. I know in Masters. Dude, Dan's fast.
So, I'm not sure if he was there with his dad or not, but
he was. Dude, his dad's always there, man.
Yeah, I remember him and Dan
the golf cart
from the Ocala days. Definitely always there, always fast, no hiccups, super clean driver. But yeah, so those are your winner from the weekend and most of your 206 classes. So I apologize if I killed your name. Jorge got gapped, I see here, by at least 8 people, so that makes me happy.
It was 9. Not big deal.
Yeah, but that's that's all part of it. So all right. Yeah. So 103rd, great race. It got a little dicey there in the beginning, a little bit of pushing. There's been some comments that have been put online. But before we get to that, Jorge, guys, talk to us about what time you guys got there, what time the race starts, kind of what prep you did before the race. What do you got, Matt?
Well, I showed up there at like 1 o'clock because they told us gates open at 3:30, and then I get a message saying, "Hey, gates open at 9 for practice." I was like, screw it. So I left my apartment in Tallahassee at 10 o'clock, got there at 12, unloaded my stuff up. I took a couple laps out there just to shake the cart down, and it was rolling for the most part. So I parked it and hung out with Barry. Shout out to Barry. Barry hooked it up for all of us this weekend.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
And we just hung out until Mr. Ruiz got there, or Wooies, sorry.
Wooies. Better than Ruts. It's better than Ruts. Jorge Ruts.
Oh yeah, dude. So bad.
Listen, I get names wrong all the time, so I get it. Jorge, this was a different weekend for you, starting with Saturday. I know that you went into the weekend saying, "Hey, I'm gonna go test. I'm not taking it personal." That was the whole spiel of the week, guys. I'm gonna go test. It's not that big of a deal. And then I feel like the helmet, the visor went down, and the mentality kind of got different on Saturday. Talk to me. So I know you did a little bit of
Friday,
chassis first, and then you went to the track.
yeah. Friday, I went to Barry's house. Barry, appreciate all the help. He took care of me. He mounted my seat in a different position. And then we had a game plan. We went out there for the game plan on Saturday. I did not deviate from the game plan at all. We did tires and rims, and then we did a couple of chassis setups and adjustments, and then my driving. So we stayed with the game plan pretty well. I mean, I went out there and I sucked, right? Straight up. When Matt came off the track, like his fast lap was like 42.7 by himself, and I went out there and I knocked down a 43.8, and I was like, it's gonna be a long day. So then, but slowly, he's like, you know what? Let's put the other rims on. Let's see. But the cart was loose. It was free. I should say free. The cart was free. So the chassis adjustments we made, the seat position were working, right? So the next session, he goes, one thing. He goes, you're gonna do one thing. This is all you're gonna do, and we're gonna adjust this one part of the track. Boom, knock the second off.
And what was
And he's
that?
like,
What did you change on the cart, or was it on the track? What did you change?
it was mostly on the track. We adjusted, we took the front bar out, right, to get me a little bit more front grip, and we put the rims with better grip on, because I was going to the right hander and I couldn't get down to the right hander before the mini bowl. So he wanted some more grip, but I didn't want to run those rims because those rims have a lot of grip, and I wanted to run the MXCs and work on the MXCs. I wanted the cart to be so freaking loose I was going to spin out the whole time. And when the grip rubbered up, the track rubbered up, the cart came to me. I was not chasing the track. I was letting the track come to me. That was a very hard concept for myself because I was holding back so hard. It was just ridiculous. Like, I wanted to freaking do changes, but we had a plan, and he kept me on the plan. So then I was able to get the mini bowl down, and then I dropped the second. Next was, since I was getting that mini bowl down quicker, drop a couple teeth off. We didn't touch anything on the chassis. We dropped a couple teeth off. I know, Matt, you did not have the right driver, so you ran out of gear, even though you're on the smallest combination you can go to, but your smallest combination was still too high. So that's why Matt really didn't run as well as he could have at Jax, is because he just ran out of gearing. Plus, I don't think you've ever been to Jax either, right?
It's one of those things that, like, coming from the South Florida side, you're coming from these tight technical tracks where you run these small drivers
ratios.
and you don't ever get into these low ratios. And now living up north, all these tracks are drafting and you need to get bigger drivers. So the biggest I had was a 17, and the lowest, the 1753 was still not low enough. I couldn't get any lower than that. So, and
it was just, guys, keep going.
Yeah, it was just a rough time. So I just figured, I'm like, by myself, I'll be fine. In the draft, I'll be able to maintain. The biggest thing was just catching in the tight section. Then the pre-final, I smoked the clutch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was.
So when you say you smoked the clutch, right? So let's go through, what is it that you did to smoke the clutch, and how do you avoid it?
So the pole sitter, who shall remain nameless, decided to do a very slow start that he's notorious for. And with the motors, and you want to get that launch off the start. So normally you're pushing through the guy in front of you to get that launch into the start. And it was just going so slow that the clutch was engaging so hard, and it just smoked it. So it wasn't engaging anymore. So it was getting to like 4,000 RPM, 4,200 RPM, and it just wasn't going anywhere. So I burned through 4 sets of shoes in 2 sessions. And yeah, I was going through it, and I was going down the straightaway at full speed, and the clutch is still smoking because I just burned through it. So I struggled. The OTK is a very soft chassis. So going through those heavy load corners, I would be super fast through the tight technical sections. And as soon as I got into the large bowl, the cart would just load up, and it would not spring off the corner going out of the big bowl.
Okay.
So I struggled. I got put into a couple tough situations, and one time got driven off and spun in the final. So wasn't the results that I was looking for in Jacksonville. Was definitely a fun time. Enjoyed everyone there. Kenner, Lynn, Kaylin, for everyone there at North Florida Kart Club. They knocked it out of the park. There's no question about it.
Yeah. Now, before we keep going, I'm going to kind of predict the future here, which is where the weekend ended up, right, on Sunday. You just talked about the cart loading up or binding up right into the bowl.
Yeah.
Jorge saw that progression. I was able to see that progression for him mainly on Sunday. And going back to the pictures that they just released from North Florida Kart Club, again, they're doing a phenomenal job. They don't sponsor us. They don't do anything like that for us. They just did such a good job that I mean, I'll talk to them for 2 hours if you let me, right?
Yeah.
They're doing it for the sport. I know how hard it is just to even get 3 people to do a podcast on the channel. I can only imagine how hard it is to get 105 people plus track workers, plus the lights, plus the city and everything together. So it's incredible all the work that they're doing. But that was the progression of the weekend, right? So it sounds like you were kind of struggling to the same thing. And then before we're not getting to Sunday yet, that's probably where we're going with this podcast, right? Which we've been talking about tuning and tips like that, and the things that we did on Sunday that I'm telling you, Jorge, if you would have probably fixed those on Saturday, it's a shame nobody caught it, which is why it's important to try to get out to the track with somebody else. That's an underrated thing. Going out there, because sometimes you're in the cart and you're like, man, I'm tight or I'm loose. And then somebody's watching and you're saying, no, you're either pushing or you're hiking or you're doing all those things
exactly
that you're not feeling. So Matt just went over his Saturday. How was Saturday for you? How did the traffic jam add up? How did the punting go?
All right, I'm gonna get into the sorry guys, I have an older dog and the dog's more important than anything else to me. So Shadow need to get up, my puppy. All right, Saturday. All right, I let everybody talk online. By all means, I'm not upset about any of the comments online. I just want to say my side, my piece, and that's it. All right. Don't take it. I'm not saying anything negative, so don't get butthurt over this. If you don't like what I say, just unsubscribe. Gabe will be upset. I'll be fine.
Don't subscribe on mine.
I'm playing. Dude, listen, I'm real. You guys know how I am on the track. I'm just honest. I'm real. This is who I am. Off, on, doesn't matter. I just cuss a lot less on here than I do in real life. That's it. All right. And I cuss a lot because I was in the military. So fuck is like a second word to me. Every time I say it, Gabe cringes a little bit, but all right. Saturday. Let's go to the pre-final, right? Pre-final.
Heavier masters.
Bar in. Let's do heavy. Okay. Heavy. Pre-final. There wasn't much of us. There were 16 of us, but all 16 were stacked. That's the thing. Everybody's like, oh, 16 dudes. 16 were stacked. All right. It didn't freaking matter. They were the 16 best drivers that decided to come out and whip my ass. And they did this. They did exactly what they came out to do.
Thank you.
I didn't even see the front half of the field, to be honest. Chris came over like I smoked your ass. And I was like, did you really? You never saw me. So does it count? I don't think so. So they went out, right? The race. Corey brought us super slow. Okay. Before we get too deep into this, I'm going to say it right now. Listen, Corey is a good guy. All right. Corey's a good guy. You got to separate him and his retarded dad.
Hey.
Corey, you'll probably be upset that I call your dad retarded or stupid or whatever. That's fine. I know he watches the podcast. It's cool. It's just, you're a great driver, right? A cool guy. I wish nothing the best. Congratulations on the baby. Beautiful kid. Thanks for helping me unload the cart from I separate you and your dad. So when I talk shit, it's not about you. All right. I hope you understand that. Right. And Corey's an aggressive driver. Right. And if he dumps you, he'll tell you. He'll be like, wow, I fucking took you out. You gotta respect the man for that.
Yeah, he won't shy away from it either.
Yeah, you gotta respect the man for that. Like that shit. That's you gotta respect him, right? I made it a last podcast. I said, yeah, I meant to rough you up. I did not mean to pant you into the grass. I meant to just rough you up, try and move you out of the way. If I meant to punt you, I'm the first person to be like, yeah. Gabe and I have gotten into arguments because I punted him.
Yeah,
and I tell him straight up, yeah, I did. And I'll tell anybody that. And if I get punted, I expect it. I'll explain more.
He doesn't like it when he gets it back, though. He doesn't.
Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, but I expect it because.
Or when he catches me, look back. That's the best.
Yeah.
I'll do a movie and be like, got him.
Yeah. So but you guys understand, right? We race with Canadians. Like I've raced with the Canadians. Canadians. They haven't been down in a couple of years, but if you race Canadians in the 206 class,
They don't
they're a
care.
whole they're a whole nother level. They make me look like a bitch. All right. Everybody says I'm one of the roughest drivers. Canadians make me look like a bitch. If they're anywhere near you, if they're in your inside, you better give up the inside lane or they're going to take you out. That's their corner. I've learned that hard. Better. If they're coming down to the last corner, expect to get punted. Expect the bump to come. You got to expect that. When you run up front, you got to expect some of these guys will push, will lean, will bump, will do everything. All right. And there's different levels that we race at. We race at a local level. I use it on a lot nicer. There's things that drive me nuts at the track. All right. So during the heavy race, Corey brought us real slow. When I mean slow crawl. And it burnt Matt's clutch up.
Yep, we just talked about that.
Yeah, it smoked his clutch bad to a point that I stayed behind him through the mini bowl and the fast section, and you'll see down the straightaway, his shit was still burning. So that's when I went with the Lloyd. I popped out, went with the Lloyd, and went because I thought to myself, Matt's clutch is gone. Yeah. That thing does not exist anymore. And when he gets back in the tight section, it's just going to be slipping. I'm not going to be able to help him. So I left Matt. I usually don't. You can lose a race in the first lap.
Mm-hmm.
You will lose a race in the first lap if you don't pull your head out of the ass. Yeah. This is what drives me nuts. You're in a drafting track. You're in a track that you need help. And then when you shove your nose just to try to get that one position and we lose a second to second and a half on the leaders, it's almost impossible to gain that second half back. All right. Yeah. When you're racing, go ahead, Matt.
And to interrupt here, Jorge, that specific situation, you got out, you got to my inside, you and the lawyer were lined up. We go through the 90 after the long straightaway. I had someone on my bumper, dive bombs me going into the 180 by pit exit. So almost sends me off.
And there's no need for that.
And there's no need. And then you try to battle me.
I hate that. I hate that when it comes to it. Yeah.
And
I hate
he's
why.
Like, well, you should have just pushed me. And I go, well, no. Why would I push you when you almost take me out?
That so
that's exactly my mentality.
Yes. So that goes to racecraft, right? So there's in karting, as you progress and you get better, right? You all of a sudden start to understand your car and the things you do. All of a sudden now you go and you're putting off one fast lap, just like the leaders, right? And then all of a sudden the next race, now it's 2 laps, 3 laps, 4 laps. Now you find yourself always running out the front. Now, once you go through that progression, when you run out the front, it's not
there's
the
no
same,
passing. There's not a lot of passing.
So you can tell the difference. And it also happened again in Sunday to where guys that are not used to running on the front, you're a lap and a half, you're 2 laps in, and people are dive bombing on the leaders. I was like, that is not the way to do it. That is not the way. So, and we say it and we give that away all the time. But guys, if you find yourself in the beginning of the race up front, especially if you don't have the experience, right? Tuck in behind the leader, tuck in behind somebody that's been doing it for a long time and watch them and sit back there. Our 206 races, especially finals, doesn't matter where they're at. They're really long races, right? Mm-hmm. Sit back there, learn something for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 laps, right? And maybe like, holy crap, whatever turn they're at, make one move at the end, maybe make 2, and the last lap, give it hell. But by then you'll find out that you would have probably now built enough gap between you and the places behind you that you can go the last 2 laps, you can go balls out and do whatever you want and sneak out a win and get a race. So,
and we are really blessed with watching Colin, Dylan, Don Meyer.
Yeah.
Like these
Harkins.
guys
Perkins, Tolles, Chris Carroll. I mean, the thing is, Mick Gabriel. If we listen,
performance of what we do, and that's how they race. They are not afraid to line up for 3 or 4 laps in a row and
they're nose to tail. That's it. They're nose to tail, and they're pushing away from the freaking field. For some reason, we get to the heavy class or like from 10th place back, there's no teamwork. There's no nothing. Oh, I can get one position. If you fucking sat there and pushed, you can be in the lead pack racing for the win.
And the perfect example was Jorge and I from Monticello.
Yeah, just sit there. Just sit. We had a plan. We're like, listen, I'm just going to sit behind you. It does not matter. For the first half of the race, I will sit behind you and I'm going to push the shit at you. If we're not making any grounds, or if I for some reason you slip up, I get by you, we're gonna swap. Once we
Mhm.
swap, you just sit there, and that works out so much better. Look at these teammates. You got to see. Okay, you got to see
Deloitte's.
Brown. Kalen Brown posted a video of the Jacksonville race, right? It's 2 against 1. All right. It's basically him and Chris, or Sean against Chris, excuse me, against Corey. Corey did what I would have done. You have to make the immediate pass back because it's 2 against 1.
Mhm.
That, and you have 1 tooth up on everybody else. So you don't have the straightaway speed to hang, but you can get them back on the infield and break up the team, the duo. He raced smart. But the thing is, the passes that he did not slow down their progress. And the guys that he was racing against saw that. He would make a move. They would just slide in behind, run, get back together, make a move. Their lap times, look at their fucking lap times, and their lap times are still low 41s consistent because they were able to make passes smartly. I'm just in the back half of the field. If you let me tell you, if you dive bomb me and you told me to push you, I'm pushing you right off the track.
Fact.
All right. That's a fact.
There was
Not,
a point I saw red
it's
misses.
just I get
I almost
mad
hit
because it's
someone.
stupid. It's just, and then when I go, don't hit the orange helmet. The orange helmet is a caution cone. Don't hit the caution cone. Okay. For some reason, you guys see me on track and you guys say I'm jokingly I'm gonna punt you, blah, blah, blah. It's that. I'm not gonna hit anybody in the first lap. I'm not gonna wreck anybody. It comes down to last lap, gloves off, right? That's the truth. Last lap, gloves off for the win. Yeah. Miguel, don't hit Miguel. Miguel will never wreck you. Don't, like I said, separate Corey from his dad. You gotta separate the driving styles between me and Miguel.
I will
Miguel's
wreck
the
you.
nice,
I will wreck
yeah,
us both.
Miguel's the nicest guy out there. He won't hurt a fly. He's literally, when we joke, Miguel says, I love Dale, do it for Dale, this and that. No, he's Mark Martin, like the nicest guy on track. So don't look at him and think of me. All right. I just wanted to point that out because everybody thinks Miguel's the same as me. So you just run him off the track. No,
Yeah, that's
Miguel
true.
won't do
That's
that.
very true. I
Yeah,
mean,
Miguel will basically, he'll take the inside instead of like tracking wide. He'll pinch his line off
He will
and
hold
rather
it.
drag you. So yeah, I won't, but he will.
yeah, I will wreck us
I'm
both.
just saying that. So the heavy race was like that. It was a good race. I didn't move much in the front. The Masters race at the beginning of the race, you guys saw in the drone footage. The 9, um, I I pushed him through turn 1, but then you saw me. I backed off completely. He dipped the tire to the outside, spun out. He locked up the tire going to turn 1. I was trying to push him past the drivers. It's turn 1. It's the first lap. That's what I'm talking about. Someone slowed up. I might have slowed up slightly, right? The moment someone slows up slightly, they just want to dive bomb. So I slowed slightly in the bowl because there's commotion in front of me, and he shoved his nose inside of me and moved me up the track. And I was like, okay, whatever. So I pushed him, and right into turn 1, he locks the brakes. So I back off hard. He controls it, and then he just runs off track and spins out. Now let's go to the finals of the heat race. For the finals for the heavy class, it wasn't.
Class, you mean?
Huh?
Masters, you mean?
No, for the heavy first. The heavy, it was
We just
huh?
covered heavy.
Yeah, for the pre-final.
He had a busy week. He had a busy day.
Yeah, I had a busy day.
night.
This
He was
double
doubling
duty
up. He
class
was
is
all
just
over the
too
place.
much, man. Because I don't have time to film and talk and BS with people. I'm just working on my card and freaking. I'm my own mechanic, and Barry's helping me out, but he's telling me the changes to do and shit like that. So for the heavy race, I dropped the.
Pin loose.
Huh?
Like leaving your kingpin loose?
Yeah, I left my kingpin loose. Barry yelled at me for being retarded. I mean, it's just shit like that. Yeah, all Barry did was yell at me all weekend. So I know how it feels. So for the adjustment we did, we did not throw the front bar back in. We left the front bar back out. All we did was widen the rear and adjust tire pressure. That's all we did. And then we worked on my driving and we dropped some teeth. He said, I didn't drop as many teeth as he wanted, which I should have. I should listen because I got my driving better, got out of corner better. So you're only as fast as the group you run with. So heavy final was uneventful, really. Got a good run and then worked with Austin. And then I passed Austin quickly and I gave him the sign, let's swap, because I was quicker on the infield and my gearing. So we swapped and we just worked together as much as we could. uneventful final. Shit happens. All right, let's get to the Masters final, the one that everybody's freaking out about. All right, like I said earlier, at local races, I don't race. I don't race tough. I don't race rough. You can ask Austin. During the race, he would go on the inside. I would hold my line on the outside, or I'd give him the position up on go into a mini bowl. When I did it to him, I wouldn't run him off track. I just hold my position, we'll 2x2, and that was it. Right. For a local race, I will not run you hard at all. I don't give a crap. For a regional race, I'll run you a little bit harder, unless I'm racing like Matt and I know Matt can take it, and I'll pinch him and stuff like that because I know Matt won't get upset and he's a hard racer. So there's some people I race
It's
harder.
upset.
Yeah, you just gotta know who you race against. But some people don't get upset. Like, are you? Yeah, I'll run you down to the grass, but then I'll pop back out and then give you the line, and then we'll race. We'll battle back and forth. And I'll dive bomb it on Matt, but then I won't like push Matt wide. I'll like just dive bomb to mess with his momentum and try to drag race him back. So like stuff like that. I know who I can do that with. Right, people that can do that with. I thought till Phil got mad.
Yes.
So besides the point. I thought I could do that with people, so Phil got mad, but whatever.
Poor Phil, man.
It's a different story. Poor Phil. He was back in Tilston. Whatever. That's a different podcast. So,
Same one.
so we go right in the Masters race, and I was already a little fired up because how I saw how the racing was going. Right. So, the first incident. These are both names are the same name. So, I'm going to address the first incident. All right. We're going into the mini bowl, and I know he's not making the corner. I can definitely see he ain't making the right hander unless he uses me as a side pod. Right there, my flip switches. When he's gonna run me that hard and use my side pod, you're not making the next corner. I know him, right? And I know he's a really good racer. I want to say that he can go on dirt, and you can't touch that fucker on dirt. The guy's a monster. He comes to road racing, he was a monster. And sprint track, the guy can just fucking drive straight up. The guy just has a talent to drive. And I know him. So he's going to use 8 tires are better than 4. So he comes in, and the only reason I raced him that rough because I was having a blast racing him that rough because I knew he could take it. Right? Some people said it was bad, but I knew, and he might. And at the end, I think he was kind of roughed up, or like rubbed the wrong way. But if I knew you're gonna get upset, I wouldn't race you that hard. I was just giving you the pass and just pushed you. But since you came in and I knew you weren't making a freaking turn, you slammed into the side of me. I was like, all right, dirt mode. That's exact. And I had a smile the whole time. And yeah, I mean, we rubbed side pods and freaking I left him on the track. He came through the grass and I was like, he's going to side pod me again. And I was waiting for it, but I barely missed him. I had a blast. I'm guessing it was, I mean, whatever. That's just, I race as hard as you race me. Now, coming to the final turn, it's a local race. I don't give a fuck about the position. I just want to have fun. Don't give a damn. I come from, maybe I was like 5, 6, 7 cart lengths back. And I sniffed the draft and the cart takes off. And you get that draft. And I don't lift in turn 1. And he looked like he was a little loose and he was lifting. So I come into turn 2, which I turn 1 and 2, but you know what I mean, right? The big turn left-hander to the off-camber left-hander. And I was going to ride. I was going to, do what I do, just push through the turn and try to go underneath them at the last second. And I went to use the brake. I let off. He got on the brake. When I got on the brake as hard as I could, I didn't stop. And I punted him. And that's not what I meant to do. I didn't mean to punt him. I didn't mean to. If I meant to punt you, I'd be straight up. I meant to punt you. I didn't mean to punt you. I didn't mean to send you to the grass. None of that. Earlier in the race, like I said, racing this guy, I love his dad, I love his family, I love everybody. It's so hard to race someone the way I want to race them, because then I don't want to hurt their feelings. Because in a way, like if we get down to it, like I like them and I don't want to like wreck them or anything, but you gotta learn patience. Because in the first lap of both the heavy and the masters, you're all over the track, and it was really rough. Like it was rougher than I would expect. Like even in the bowl, you were moving people out of the way. I'm not gonna mention names. That's just my opinion. If you don't like it, sorry, whatever. It's not gonna change my opinion of you. You're still a great guy. Everybody's great. Love it. The comments afterwards that you post on Facebook, it's your opinion, and this is mine. I respected yours. Please respect my opinion. If you guys want to DM me or PM me or message me, whatever, you can. That's just my side of the story. I just want to clarify that up. That's in like I said, at a local event, I race extremely clean. I try to race clean. I don't run people off. I don't rub people the wrong way. I just try to run, a good hard race, and I try to have fun. At regional event, we step up the level a little bit. At national event, just don't. It's all balls
Elbows
to the
out.
wall. Yep, elbows out. Like Miguel says, elbows out, but Miguel doesn't do it. So he says it, but doesn't do it.
And to kind of go off what you're saying, when we meet everyone at the track, obviously Jorge, Gabe, they have their platforms and meeting people at the track, and we like having the relationship and meeting everybody and having fun.
Hell yeah, I love it.
When we put the visors down and we're on the track, we like to drive people the way we get driven. And that's an end of the day statement for all racing. So, and we call it how it is. If we did something, we were the first one to walk up and say, listen, dude, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that to happen. But if we did it, we will tell you we did this and this is why we did it. And like, I don't like driving people dirty. I really don't. I have never, probably not, on one hand, count the amount of times I've actually wanted to punch someone. And this weekend I got to that point for the first time in a long time. And I don't like that.
That was more on Sunday though, right?
No, that was Saturday.
No,
Saturday,
Saturday.
okay.
Sunday, I
Saturday.
wanted to punch somebody, but I drove away from them, so it didn't really matter.
But yeah, it was the same situation. Like from
that Sunday was nuts. That Sunday guy was.
Sunday was nuts. But yeah, like I've never gotten to that point of wanting to punch someone, and I got to that point where I was upset and I almost did it, and I just pulled myself back. I was like, I'm not gonna do that. They're good people. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
They watch the channel. They like hanging out with us, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, me too. And I wasn't. Yeah.
When the visor
I don't have a teammate, right? I don't have a teammate. I have Matt and Gabe and Heavy. That's it. Those are my teammates. And I wreck my teammates sometimes. But when I have a plan in mind, I'll sit there.
Not sometimes.
Well, you know what I mean, right? If I have a plan, right? If I have a plan, I remember Orlando. I looked back and I saw Gabe back there, but he was not able to get up. So I was like, fuck. I was like, I need Gabe. I was like, screw it. I decided to drop back from the leader, pick up Gabe, and drive him past the leader. Because that's what I needed him to pass. I needed him to pass. And after that, I didn't care.
It's racecraft, right?
Exactly. And after that, I just sat there behind the whole race and I said, I'm not going to make a move until last lap. Like, I'm not moving from this position.
And myself and 3 other people crashed so Gabe can win a pre-final.
It happens.
Yeah, that's true.
I just sat there. I'm sitting there fourth, and I'm watching.
Yeah,
this.
that was
I'll
SSKC.
never forget it. Yep. I'm watching it unfold, and I'm watching this. I was like,
they're not gonna wreck.
No, I was like, they're gonna wreck. I'm like, they're gonna wreck, right? And I just said, I'm just gonna chill back here, and I'm gonna watch. And lo and behold, they took themselves out, and I, win a pre-final. You just never know. That's part of racecraft, right? I could have been more aggressive that day, and then just try to like disrupt it. But when I recognized that they started playing this game, not even halfway through the race, I said, you're in Orlando.
None of them finished.
Yeah, you're gonna hit something, right?
I finished P2. I was happy as hell.
Yeah, you guys finished 1 and 2, and then all 4 of us, the fastest guys, were starting in the dead last for the final, and all of us drove through the front.
Yeah, but I played blocking like a mother. I gave such a big lead. I didn't have the cart to win that day.
Yeah, the carts.
You're driving people into the dirt.
I was driving everybody to the dirt.
So and
That was a
last
good
year
one.
we were struggling with in going back to setup, and maybe this is a good segue. We're going to move on to Sunday here. So we've been struggling as of late, especially after the MG compound change early. So late 2020, MG did the compound change where we kind of didn't know what we were going to get. Shortly after that, we started struggling a lot with getting tight and the carts binding late in the race.
Mhm.
And it kind of continued and progressed, and we did a lot of changes and a lot of stuff. But I knew, especially going into every race late last year, I had a good cart for 6 or 7 laps, and that's it, right? Doesn't matter where we put the tire pressure. As soon as tires got hot, or the day got hot, and the track got slick, and the tire, like that's just what I had, and that's kind of what I went with for a while. And now with the new chassis with Jorge, what we saw on Sunday, I was able to make it out there this Sunday and watch him race.
Finally.
Yeah.
I know.
After,
Shit.
after
Jesus
February, so it took
Christ.
me a few months. Matt was dialed in. He got there like Matt was doing his thing. He knows
Yeah,
Orlando.
Matt was doing his thing off the rip. Oh
So
no! Remember, Matt and I did a gentleman's agreement that we were going to run old tires.
yes.
Yeah, so we ran old tires. I want
Everyone
everybody.
else showed up on new tires, but that's
Yeah, I just want everybody to point out. Oh, you guys barely ran with these guys. They show up on new tires. We're on SSKC December tires.
Yeah.
And
Plus
mine
they've
had
been worn
practice
other.
session
They
for
also
Pompano.
got worn for other. Well, you were on 3 SKC tires plus the tire that's sit in the garage.
Oh,
for-
thanks, Ron, man. Yeah, thanks, Ron.
Yeah,
I was on
Ron helped you
SSKT
out.
tires, and Ron had one tire that I needed because mine debeated.
Yeah. So and I think that kind of goes back to the setup. So I watched him. I hadn't watched you race in the new cart since Pompano, right? And we didn't really have a lot of data on the cart. I think that was the first time that you tried the cart. And
Yep.
qualifying you debeated the tire, so I didn't really get to watch you in qualifying. And then you go out for the pre-final, and I'm watching the cart, and I'm like, this thing is just hiking like you barely put any input into the steering wheel, and like you see the back of the cart, it's just 6 inches, 7 inches, up in the air. You go into the flagpole, you give it any sort of wheel input when you got not spun, but you got roughed up by Chris a little bit, not on purpose. I mean, just the cart's just the rear end is just not stable, so,
Yeah.
so we did some changes. You're gonna see on the vlog, but we worked on the cart, and I think that we finally going into the final, it took us some time and took some patience and 4 months of you racing, or 3 months of you racing the cart, to dial it in and realize that, hey, maybe we needed a different axle on the cart, stiffen up the rear of the cart, and then add some accessories to the cart to make a difference, which was the progression of the weekend, right? So Matt was hooked up. I don't think you really did many changes to
No,
the
he
go-kart over the
walked
day on
around and
Sunday.
BS to everybody. That's what
Yeah, he talked shit all
Right.
day.
I
He had a
struggled
good
in the
time.
final though. I should have done
Right.
something, but I didn't.
And Jorge, what were I know what we did, but what were the changes that you did to the car? I watched him work on the car for an hour and a half. It was nice. I sat on a chair
For
on
2
the
hours.
lawn chair and watched him work. So
Yeah, well, I took my time doing the changes, guys. We had a
Sure.
3-hour break. So we went to
And Miguel
Orlando.
would be so proud. He actually cleaned the cart.
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
I
he
cleaned the
did.
cart too. I took my time, cleaned the car, swap. So we went to Orlando. Love Orlando. Andre, give us the discount prices.
206. We'll get a big group.
206.
Big group.
We'll get
100
big
carts.
group if you knock off $25. All right. I threw that my little spiel. I tried, guys, but man, it was expensive to race, but it was a blast. So I went out there for the pre-final. First qualifying, I knew Chris and I looked at the tire, Daltrey, and we came up with the thing that it may not hold air because the tire bead was kind of jacked up. Thanks to Gabe, he let me borrow his tires. I didn't have any MGs, and it held air, but it wasn't going to hold on to a rim. I know that much. So it debeated itself. Didn't get a quick qualifying run, so it went out for pre-final. No adjustments. I didn't touch the damn thing. Just Ron gave me another tire. Thanks, Ron, for everything. Popped the tire on, and then went out for the pre-final. Kart was fast. Second fastest lap of the race. Mid to low 58s the whole race. Thing was rolling. I thought the kart was great. Felt great in the turns. Gabe comes off I come off the track. Gabe tells me this thing's hiking bad, and I go, shit. It didn't matter how good I ran. I didn't give a crap. That's not what my goal was. My goal was to get the hiking down. I needed to get the cart to not freaking want to flip every time I took a turn. Even though it felt great, it was really fast in a tight section. Like tight tracks, that cart, the way it is freaking fast as hell, but it was just acting weird. So I went to Farshad and I said, I need the hardest axle TV makes, which is an H2. And I'm not going to cut it. I'm going to leave it long. I have 70mm rear hubs to keep the cart free. I lowered the chassis, raising the axle. And I did something I never do. I put fucking seat struts on. I put some seat struts on. I spaced out the wheels to where I usually normally run. I added some caster. Put the front bar back in. And let that bitch rip.
And that
did
thing
it
was
rip.
flying.
And did it rip?
And that thing, it was like a spank in the ass. There's no more hiking. There's no more binding. There's none of that. I went from 5th to 1st in 2 laps. And then the way it happened, I was just going to push Matt. And the way it happened is the 522 guy behind me gave me a massive push. So I said, okay, I'm going to do like a crossover move, like overshoot turn 4 a little bit. And that's going to slow up the 522. I'm going to slide right in front of Matt. And then we're going to drive away. That was my plan. It worked out perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I came through that showcase right-hander to left-hander, right-hander, and I did the little pat to get to Matt to push me. I did a little pat. I looked back, and I had walked away.
He was gone.
I was like, holy shit. Right-hander, left-hander, boom, 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 boom. Walking away. This is my fault.
No.
Right?
Before we get to it.
I cleaned the cart today.
Yeah, he cleaned the car. Let it be known, I am losing my mind. Right, I am like holding on. I'm, if you go to Orlando, you kind of go upstairs and you get to watch the whole race. And I am like, we nailed the setup. I am talking so much crap, like I felt like Miguel at CKNA, right? So
yeah.
And I am telling you, like, how dominant that cart was while it lasted. Right, it was probably as most hooked up as you can see. Like, I was like, is that Colin out there? Like, you guys know when Colin gets out there and it's just like easy and smooth and he just makes it look like effortless. That's what it looked like. And obviously Jorge's driving, so he doesn't know what's going on. But the cart was planning. It was rotating perfect. He was hitting
just
his
doing
apex.
what it needed to do,
It
man.
didn't push. And I was like, I'm like, he's about to gap the field by 6 seconds.
And
that's what it was. That's what it looked like.
And following him and just watching how that cart just rotated the weight, loaded up and sprung off the corner. It was doing everything it needed
that
to
we needed to do. It took 4. Look, guys, we've been working on it since January.
Collecting data, right?
Yeah. Matt's been putting input in, Gabe, Barry, all these guys. This is Dylan, everybody's been trying to help me to get this thing to work because I've been just running in the back. And all the shit talkers saying, oh, you haven't run well and everything. Look at the fucking blogs, all right? This tells a story. I usually run up front. You see, I win.
He misses me. He misses me on track.
Yeah, I'm not one. Like I never say I'm one of the best. I'm gonna run up front. I go to Grants. I just want to run mid pack. Right. I just want to be one of those guys that is somewhere near the front towards the end against some of these badass guys. Because I don't consider myself one of the badass guys. I consider myself one of the mid packers. I'm not a Gary Larson. I'm not a Sean Meyer. I'm mentioning heavy guys' names, right? Don't get butthurt. I'm not Adam Maxwell when he comes runs heavy. I'm not a Mick Gabriel when he comes runs heavy. I'm not James Inca. Oh, man, I've screwed up his last name.
James Perkins.
I know. I knew you were gonna say that. So
you didn't hear that.
Yeah, exactly. I knew she was gonna say that, even though whatever. But in the end, like, I'm not one of those fast cats that come in and just rip it every time. Like I give it 110%. I try. I'm trying to get up there with them. Don't get me wrong. I'm not James Perkins. All right. I'm gonna stop naming names. I'm none of those guys. So we've been working on this since January. All right. Been busting my ass. People are like, oh, you need a different chassis. This chassis is not made for you. Just shit talking out the ass. Are you done getting tired of getting beat by this chassis? Like real shit talking, not what Matt does and everybody else does. I know they joke around shit talk. There's real shit talking. We'll give you we'll give you this chassis, we'll give you that chassis. Listen, I am not brand loyal. I've already said this a million times, right? Far shaming gets a little upset when I say this, but I don't give a fuck. I'm not brand loyal, right? I'm loyal to Farshat. Right. Farshat gave me the opportunity. He gave me the help. He's been always there. He believes in me. He's family. He is with TB. As long as he's with TB, I'm with TB. The factory is amazing. The input they ask for, they always ask, hey, how can we make this better? They send me, okay, try this out, try that out. They're very, into it. They want the brand to excel in every platform. Right. So I stuck with them because they stuck with me. I stuck with them and we nailed it. I say we nailed it this past week. I'm a little scared though. You know how it is. Like if I throw on some Vega compounds, different track, how would it work? We nailed it for the most part. The thing that it makes me really happy is those were worth 180 rims.
True.
If I throw the 210 rims on, I definitely know we fucking nailed it. So super happy. Thanks to everybody. The racing though was insane. First of all, we couldn't get the start down to save our life in the fucking heavy class because what they do, mix the class or something that we didn't even know.
Yeah, and that was another thing. Like there was some disorganization within the whole thing. Like they had 3 masters register. So rather than combine them prior to qualifying, they had them qualify separately. Then before the pre-final, they decided to throw us all together and then try to make us line up while we're on track going up to the start, because in Orlando they make us do a standing start. So then they put all the masters in the front of the group. So they put the masters in front and then the heavies behind them.
Made no sense because the heavies were faster than the masters. So I don't know.
It
was a mixed up. I don't know what
it didn't make sense. And
no.
To be fair, Andre was not there that weekend. So you can tell the difference in the pace when Andre's there for an event, right? It's like boom, 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 boom.
And that's part of it. When Andre's there, everything's in line. Another factor is with their 206 challenge that they have is that they don't follow the rule set from a national platform or a state platform. They let their locals make their rules, which understandably it's fair. They want to do that. That's fine. But when you're running the Orlando Cup, which is going off the SSKC rules, there are certain things that should be penalties or shouldn't be happening, period. That was going on. A lot of drivers who run their League of Legends stuff when they're dive bombing rental carts and doing
it's crazy.
Doing stuff like that, doing it in a class with drivers who actually race on the national level. And there's certain things that we just don't tolerate. And there was many arguments on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, there was a couple arguments. I almost sent someone to the woods because he thought he can zig and zag at the same time. And it was just
he was pulling a Lance Stroll the last F1 race.
Yeah, literally. He decided to turn left on my front bumper, and then he started complaining because I hit him into the corner. And
it was rough. It was crazy. It was rough. Like
in the pre-final, I qualified 5th in heavy, and after they did the Masters in combination, they put me in 8th, and I drove from 5th in the heavy to 1st. Stuck behind 2 Masters guys, almost took out one of them. The other one was just dive bombing and doing some crazy moves, the 888, and then we were just like, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave this for 3rd for the final and let it go. And then in the final, I started strong. The track got hot and slick, and I developed a really bad push, and I just could not get the cart to work. Jorge got past me, and after further investigation, Jorge did not put a fuel filter on his cart and clogged the carb up with some dirt. And
it was my fault.
That's what cost him the race. I did that.
So here's the context. Worked all day in the heat, did all the work, finally gets up there, 3 months, 4 months worth of work. The cart's finally dialed in. The cart's a rocket, right? And because of a maintenance item that Jorge overlooked, who overlooked the day before,
Yeah, I changed the
cost them a
fuel
win.
line.
And
I
it
changed
was
the
running
fuel
for
line.
2 whole days without one, no issues. The final on Sunday, it decides the clock
Yeah,
when he was leading the race.
what happened? Oh, I changed the fuel line because we have that issue with cracking and stuff. So now I like to change the fuel line. If you change the fuel line, make sure you add a fill filter back on. That was my mistake, completely my fault. Full blame. Nothing to do with the motor. Motor
How was that
worked
white
well.
rhino?
That white rhino was excellent. Listen, all the motors make some good power. I just like his customer service. He was like in contact with Matt the whole time. He was telling Matt how to do the idle and air screw and for different tracks and different stuff like that. That's what I like about Stuart. He's there at the events. He's tentative. He asks questions. He's always out there checking the weather. That's what you need. That extra. The fucking motor doesn't make. If it doesn't make any power, it doesn't make it. The thing is, it's that extra tenth or two, the antenna thing. You make it a tech. He's there with his little cart. Hey, how's everything going?
Him
Making
in
sure
his
tips
wagon,
went
he's
well.
rolling through.
Yeah, the little red rocker wagon just rolling through, making sure everything's good. It's that level of. Don't get me wrong. I want to say that SLA does a great job, great power. If you're in the Orlando area, I recommend them. If you're in the Homestead area, I recommend Kart Tech or Ricer Racing. If you're in the Jax area, I recommend TS, Victor Peters.
That's more
If you're in
Ocala too.
Ocala area, Victor Peters. I recommend all these different manufacturers that
You're
you're
in
in the area.
Indiana, comment.
If you're in Indiana, Comet, Kart
That's the way to go,
City, Ghost Racing's out there too. Like, just find yourself a good engine builder that's going to take care of you. That's it, right? I think SLA does a great job if you're in the Orlando area, freshening up, get the stuff ready, doing all the stuff that you need to do. The only reason I'm doing the switch is because of the customer service, because SLA has their thing with more the two-stroke side, because he does a lot of two-stroke stuff as well. Stewart is a four-stroke specific, doesn't give a damn who wins as long as the fucking motor's up front. So all the motors are good. All the manufacturers do that too. Dave from TS does an amazing job. That shit looks brand new when you get it back. Victor does an amazing job. All these engine builders do freaking amazing jobs with their engines. Like, and then they all push the limit, which is what I love. So, get the rule book, they read the rule book, they find what they can and can't do, and they take everything to the limit. That's what's amazing about everything. Excuse me. So, get that out of the way. Stewart's motor ran great. Plenty of bottom end power when I put the gears on. Those mini gears, first time I used them in a tight track, and that worked. Man, those things freaking awesome. So, love the mini gears. Shot out like a rocket. Cart was hauling ass. My mistake on the cart. Fuck me. But the dive bombing happening using a side pod. I do that in a rental cart. When Matt said League of Legends, I do that in a rental cart against other rental carts. I just maybe shorten the track a little bit by hopping the curb. Have fun. I don't do that at 206. I mean, I don't go into turn.
People do it, man. I've seen
dude,
some guys in
they don't give a crap. Literally,
they just eat the curbs and they hold the momentum. And I'm like, how in the world are you doing that?
No, he didn't even hold the momentum. He hopped turn one, jumped over turn one, and landed, potted, and then took off. But he did that every lap.
Here's the thing for me. And watching
how you just killed our momentum. We didn't want to kill him.
Yeah.
Okay. So you let him live.
Like we let him live. And then when the motor jacked up, I got off the track and I was telling the officials, I was like, are you gonna let 888 do this the whole race? Or do we have to step in and take matters into our own hand? And I go, and he goes, what do you mean? I go, don't black flag Matt. Because he's gonna punt him. Next thing I look over, I'm like, oh, 888's off track. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
That was the truth. I was like, he's gonna punt him.
Yeah. These guys, we go to these tracks I can speak for myself. I pay for all my stuff out of my own pocket.
Yeah, me too.
And we
Nothing gives
race.
me shit.
We race to protect our equipment. We don't like. There was a point that I was limiting myself from local races because I just kept tearing stuff up because drivers were just taking each other out, and I was just in the middle of it. So I'm going back to these local races. These guys are doing these moves, hopping curbs. And the AAA was a perfect example. He was hopping these curbs, doing crazy moves. And he hopped a curb and his throttle pedal fell off.
That's what happened?
Yeah, his throttle pedal fell off.
Oh, that's just such a crappy story.
Like,
I thought you killed him.
No.
Now I'm disappointed.
No, his throttle pedal fell off. But it was because he hopped the curb. Because he hopped out of the showcase that left-hander.
Yeah.
He just landed on the right front and just killed the bolt, and it fell off. And that's a matter of fact. Like, I raced with I forgot what the 22's name was. They've been
the 522.
Yeah,
he's dirty as fuck. No, he was. I know. I was yelling across the pits. I was like, I saw him wreck you. The 531 got a little loose in front of him. And the 531 just went around and he thought the 522 wrecked him. So I was yelling after the race. I was like, this guy's so freaking dirty. 522 is so dirty.
The kid pulled his GoPro out so fast. He was like, no, I didn't, I swear.
We were playing.
I was like, dude, I'm just joking, man. Listen, if I say that, I'm just joking. Same thing with on the ground or take out the whole field. I'm just joking. Dude, you can lose a race in the first round. I don't do that shit. I do it on the last lap.
Like, the whole final, I was just battling the cart with the track set up. I was pushing. So there was a point that I fell back to like third. And
to be honest, those were old tires. They wasn't the track going around.
Old tires.
It was the tires fell off. If you had brand new tires, you would have walked away from the field. So
yeah,
that was just old tires and having fun.
And I also found out my motor shifted in the middle of the race, so my chain was tight as hell. So
Matt has more excuses than anybody I know. He's a true two-stroke racer.
I was just gonna say that. You can tell he's been racing.
Yeah, he's a two-stroke. Dude, I watch.
Well, here's the thing. I pulled my cart out
Chaser
today.
real quick. I missed the PSI by half a pound. Fuck, I know. I overheated the tire, something retarded like that. I'm like,
I pulled the cart out today. I was cleaning my cart, putting it away for the next 3 weeks until the next one. And I go to spin the axle.
That's true.
I spin the axle and it just doesn't move. And I'm like, what? And then I check the tension on the chain and it's rock solid, not moving.
What motor mount do you use?
JTP.
Oh, maybe you should go to Ornthal.
Hey, if Odenthal wants to help me out, man, I would take
that's
motor
true.
mount
That's true.
and a GoPro.
Dude, they
bracket.
want to help me out with the mount. Ornthal, I contact you about a mount. And to check it out, dude, I'm going to review on the RAM mounts, some other mounts I checked out, and I, asked if I could, purchase a mount. I didn't get anything back from you. So if you're watching this, which you're not,
if you still want a mount, let me know. I know a guy and I can get you some, but
what's the hit me up. Let me know. After this, we'll talk.
Yeah, I got you. But yeah, no, Sunday, that final, I struggled. Everything opened up. Jorge fell out. 888 lost the throttle pedal. And then I had a good last lap battle with the 522.
522, and you were going at it at the final lap. I was watching it since I was out. I was like looking. I was like, oh no.
I went full defensive mode from my two-stroke days, and I white lined the crap out of them.
Oh yeah, shifter line. It was a good race. You two had a really good race at the end.
So for people that don't know, what do you mean when you say white lining?
So
shifter line.
White lining is putting your cart in every possible passing position so the person behind you has no ability. And if they try to switch back over on you, all it is putting your cart back in that passing spot. Mm-hmm. So for example, in Orlando, turns 1 and 2 are double right, 3 is a king to the left, and then 4 and 5 are switchbacks. So I would line my cart on the inside on the white line going into turn 4. So he would have to go wide. So when we switched over to go into
turn 5, he's on the outside.
He was on the outside. I was back on the inside. So when we would go into the showcase, I was already on the inside. Yeah. So I was able to hold the line through there. And then I battled it out, won the race by 0.02 of a second at the line.
Ooh.
So
we're humping. You're humping. You saved all your humping for the race.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Coming out
But-
last corner. Come on.
But that Stewart Racing engine powered pulled it out of the bottom and beat that AEM motor. So I was
Ooh.
real good.
Throwing shade.
Yeah, I can't believe you just said that.
Hey
Oh
man,
man.
Oh my god.
that boy is on a
Oh.
full AEM setup.
We'll find out
Oh.
we'll find out if Mick's watching this far. We'll know. We'll know if Mick's watching this far now.
Hey, man, he
Mick better
had-
be watching this for. I'll kill him.
Yeah.
Hey, do you think Stuart watches the podcast or vlogs?
I don't know, man. That man's at a racetrack every single chance he can be it. So
I don't think he knows how to use the phone, to be honest.
Like
he
does.
All he
texted
does is
me-
text.
He texted me, thank you for letting you borrow the motor. So,
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't think he knows how to YouTube. He just knows how to text. He bought a smartphone just to text.
I don't know, man. He knows how to use Facebook.
That's true.
That's true.
Is true. He knows how to make some badass posts, even though if the driver sucks. Badass posts.
Yeah.
Damn right, right here. That's
Yep,
me.
So
No,
you
not
reckon-
you. I'm talking like every person. Like the Stewart's doing some good shit right there for the community.
Like
I
that's
like
one of those
AEM though.
things. It's like the small customer service and like that recognition of like, hey, this driver trusted in my motor. He went out and won with it. The least I can do is give him a shout out and show that my platform that I helped him build
Yeah.
doing well.
Yeah,
And,
exactly. He does a good job, man. I like Stewart.
And all the
He's-
guys give him crap for the Facebook posts, and I'm like, dude, these are awesome for these kids that are like juniors and cadets.
Oh
who-
yeah, exactly.
they love it.
They
their
love
parents
it.
get to share it.
Forget
Like-
the kids, the adults. As adults, we like recognition.
I love it.
Yeah, Jorge loves it. Like Jorge is like he wishes he would have won that race because he knows he would have had a post.
Exactly. That's
And he would
exactly
and what
what
you
I
guys
thought
would know,
about.
he would have screenshotted that, he would have sent it out on the group text. He would have been like, look,
I know. I
Stuart
wish I
loves
would have
me.
won the race
Stuart
because
loves
Stuart
me.
would have talked about me. I've been like, yeah, I got mentioned on Stuart's post. And then Matt won. And then he uses such a good picture for Matt. Matt looks badass with sunglasses.
Yep.
His shirt, he's just like this. And I was like, God, that's a good picture.
I was waiting for the hair flick. It's like it was
Dude,
like,
I was like,
have the hair
damn,
flick.
man. I was like, I can't be mad at the man. It's like, he looks cool.
Hey man, if you would have won that race, I would have joined you on the top box. Be like, that's my
Yeah,
motor.
yeah, I was like, yeah. Yeah.
Sponsored by Matt.
Oh my god. Yeah,
Alright.
Matt sponsored my racing this past weekend by letting me borrow his motor, which I greatly appreciate. Mine's not back yet.
He'll be there soon. I talked to him.
It'll be Nola. Man, I don't need it back before Nola. I can
What-
borrow motors to test.
So
Gabe's
what's
not
next
racing,
race
so I can
that
borrow
you
his
guys are
engine.
doing here pretty soon?
Say
Only-
again?
What are the races coming up?
I'm doing
The
Orlando Cup
only-
round 2 since I'm leading the points. I got nothing else going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same one, but I'm gonna go Saturday, test some different pills I got for the front, see if I can make the cart a little bit quicker than it already is. But I just want to make sure I can make it quick at all the tracks. Like I think I found a home base setup. I just want to make sure I can just fine tweak it to make it stay quick.
I'll be there too on Saturday testing. I'm gonna be testing some stuff that Barry told me to do. So
I think we're gonna try a lot of good stuff that Barry's been spearheading this. If you guys don't know Barry Hastings, his mind has too much shit in it.
He has to let it out.
He has to let it out slowly, but ask him little questions because he gets on a rampage and then there's overload. I'm not gonna say anything,
short.
but
it's like
the
a
thing
short.
is-
He shorts out, and then
yeah, the thing is he's so smart that you only have to do one change at a time. That's how smart he is. He'll be like, do this.
dude,
Here's
And
a
he'll
hug.
look at you. No, what are you doing?
he's a wizard, man.
You're so dumb. I didn't say anything, Gabe. Guys, you don't think I pick on Gabe? Gabe is
know.
retarded. I'm never telling Gabe shit anything ever again. You're so dumb. Sorry, Barry. That was not supposed to happen. Fucking Gabe.
Oh man.
Regarding what? It's like there's no context. You could have just let that
Yeah,
go.
right. Gabe's stupid and doesn't race anymore. Don't listen to him.
For now. Wait till I'm back. Just wait.
No, Gabe's just dumb. Dude, no, because then people won't listen to you if they know you're retarded. I know you're stupid. So they are now understanding. Listen, we keep Gabe around for comic relief.
Okay.
No, we keep Gabe around because Gabe is awesome. He lets us crash at his house whenever we want. Show up at 2 a.m, open the I have the pad to the house. He's like a dad. He waits up for us. We watch the F1
Yeah, we
race.
watched one race together like 3 o'clock
Yeah,
in the
he helps
morning.
out the paddock. You guys gotta understand. Gabe hasn't been on the track because he got injured at SSKC last year, Homestead. You guys gotta understand. Yeah, you keep asking me, where's Gabe? Where's Gabe? Where's Gabe? Gabe is hurt. He has a bad injury that he's been putting off for a really long time in his shoulder. It pops out of socket from time to time and pops back in the socket. I give him shit all the time about it, but the truth is, it's a bad injury that he needs to be taken care of. He finally is getting taken care of this month, so wish him the best. He is getting surgery the 22nd of April.
Mhm.
Wish him the best. It's a shoulder surgery. There's a 5 to 6 month, 7 month. To be honest, I don't want to see him in the car until like 8 months until he's like fully healed from it. Cause to be honest, like it needs to be fully healed instead of him like, bandaging up, like racing. You guys gotta understand he races with kinetic tape on his shoulder, hyped up on
He
fucking
tried so hard.
on Advils and stuff. So you guys gotta understand, we give Gabe shit. Only we can. Fuck you guys if you try.
Dude,
Only we can give him shit.
Went out
He's
there,
on our
finished
group,
third on
right?
Saturday on one shoulder.
One arm.
One arm. So we give him shit. We can only give him shit. Right. So Gabe's getting fixed up. And then once he's fixed up, he'll be back on the track. So stop asking where the fuck Gabe's at. I just let you know.
So I'm hoping. So I spoke to Southern Car Club. I'm gonna try to make it out to one of their events, and I asked them if I could MC one of the races, one of the heavy races. I think that would be fun.
Dude, don't stutter too much, please.
It's okay. It's who I am, right? It's who we are.
Oh, hey,
No, you know what I'm gonna do on purpose, and I'm calling it now. I am going to either not mention Jorge.
Hold on, are you talking about NFKC? Are you talking about Jacksonville race?
Yeah, Jacksonville races. Yes.
Not SKC then. NFKC.
NFKC. Yeah. So
NFKC,
I'm either not gonna mention Jorge's name, or I'm gonna, instead of Jorge Ruiz, I'm going to just butcher it as much as I can.
Jorge
Since you guys already gave props NFKC, I'm gonna give props myself. Everybody at that fucking facility does an amazing job, excellent job. Let me tell you, Kenner is a racer. He's a racer first. He cares more about the club and growing the sport than racing.
Mm-hmm.
That I could not do. He made sure everything he was flagging, he was commenting, he was doing everything and anything, and he didn't get the race. So you guys
and it was
understand.
his birthday. It was his birthday, and all he wanted to do was take care of the track.
And he just wanted to make sure to take care of the track. So, Kenner, if you need a flag man in between sessions, hit me up. I probably don't have to do any changes because I suck anyway. So just hit me up. I will gladly take over one of the flagging or one of your job positions so you can race. All right. I don't want you to miss any more racing. To make sure that we're taken care of. I'm just gonna run one class from now on. I'm not gonna run double class. So if you need help, hit me up. I'm pretty sure Miguel will be down for it as well. Matt will be down for it. All of us will be running different classes anyway, so we could definitely help you guys out. Put Gabe in a booth. We were more than willing to help you out. If you need us there early for anything, just hit me up, and then we'll take care of it. Because you missing racing is not what we want. We want the club to grow. Yeah, we want the club to grow. We want all the clubs to grow, guys. All right. 105 entries. There might have been 10 two-strokes, 95 for 206s. Think about that.
There was only 4 two-strokes there.
Yeah. So think about that. 90, let's say 100 two-strokes in the local. Let that sink in. All right, guys.
All right.
I'm done rambling.
So I think we're gonna wrap it up. This is probably our longest podcast. So hopefully you're listening, watching this far.
You're gonna break it up into 2 different podcasts.
Man, I changed my mind. We're rocking and rolling. It's fine. I wasn't gonna cut you guys off.
This has been a debate for the last 4 hours.
Listen,
please watch all of it.
Yeah, people that don't know, like our prep time is like a text message, right? Like we'll shoot a text message. As much as we were supposed to shoot this in 2 days from now or tomorrow, the next day. And then Jorge sends a text message and says, "Hey, you guys ready now?" We're like, "Sure."
All right.
what the heck? I get home, walk the pup, we go log on and we hit record, and that's
What
what
you
you
see is
get.
what you get.
That's what you
You
get.
saw me
So
leave. You saw me leave in the middle of the podcast to take care of my dog.
yeah. So and I'm gonna put Car Chaser over a little bit here, and I think Xander kind of went under fire a little bit in the last week or so for something that
Oh
somebody did.
yeah.
And listen, Xander has nothing to apologize for. What he does, like, I do not dare to go live with Jorge ever. I will not do it. Okay. And for him to do it every single week, to go live with 6 different people and get them together and be there at the same time. Kudos to him. Kudos to Kart Chaser. Subscribe to the channel as well. They're trying to help the karting community. Subscribe to ours. Don't forget White Knuckle Racing, Jam Racing. Matt, do you have a YouTube channel, right? I'm subscribed to your channel.
I just have my social
part of
media.
Jam
Instagram, Matt
He's part of Jam Racing now.
Yeah, and in case you're wondering, right? So when we say Jam Racing, that's like the group, right? That's
everybody. It's a group. It's not just it's everybody.
So Jorge spearheads it because obviously he's at the tracks all the time, but Jorge legitimately, although he doesn't say, he cares what everybody else is doing. He wants everybody else to be on the channel and push their stuff. Yeah. It's just we struggle sometimes to get our footage to him, and kudos to Jorge. I don't think people realize that he has full-time career, a wife. He's a veteran. He's a lot of personal stuff that goes on, but he has 3, 4, 5, 6 videos going on at all times, and it's not easy, guys. It's not easy, and we thank all of you. So please subscribe. And we thank everybody that comes to the track. It's really cool when we're out there. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I sent you the text message on my way to the track. I go to Wawa here by my house, and I'm going to go pay.
He told us.
Yeah, and the guy goes, White Knuckle Racing. I was like, yeah. And so I had my shirt on, so I didn't really care. And he goes like, yeah, the YouTube channel with karting. I'm like, whoa. I was like, whoa.
Cool,
I was like,
nice, guys. You got so excited.
Man.
I was like, whoa.
Just say hey, man. And I appreciate everybody came up in Jax, man. I really appreciate you guys. And Xander, I have nothing to apologize. That was a badass podcast. That was probably your best podcast. When Ryan Norberg went a little off the script, and his nuts dropped a little bit, and he said what was on his mind. Kudos to you, Norberg. You should keep that up. And you know what? Fuck it. The kid was acting retarded, and we saw the video of getting punted. It's all right. It's fine. And Gabe right now is freaking out but they don't watch this. Who gives a crap?
Yeah, nobody's watching this.
Nobody's watching
We're
this.
getting to that point.
Nobody cares. Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right. Well, we're gonna call it a night there. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and
Catch
share.
you guys on track.
Appreciate you guys. What was that, Jorge?
Catch you guys on track.
Bye, everybody.
Matt doesn't have anything.
I don't say
later.
nothing.